Good morning, good morning. Who do we have in here? I see my girl Diva, see my girl Angel, Connie S. Well, I just made a post about our friend Connie S. She's a very good friend of mine, of yours, to this channel, and today she is celebrating her birthday with us. Let's take a minute and tell our good friend Connie happy birthday. And many more trips around the sun, and I hope you always celebrate them with us. We love you, Connie. Look at Jules making it rain, and it's raining here. I mean, storming, cats and dogs, and these Okies can't drive. They're hydroplaning everywhere. It's like when you see standing water, dipshit, don't drive through it. They've had 2 rollovers, people crashing into each other. It's like, what part of this are you not getting? So thank you so much, Jules, for gifting a membership. Woo, I cannot believe it. Of course, OJ is not having a really good time because he's sleeping. You know, he's exhausted from this move. Our good friend Lisa Aldridge sent this really cute fountain, and I put it in the kitchen, well, on the kitchen bar. And I'll show you a picture. And hang on, where is he? I'm going to put a video in the members tab. I feel bad for Lisa Aldridge because here she sends this beautiful gift, and OJ believes it's for him to drink out of. To the point, I have to keep filling it back up for him. And I'm like, what are you doing? This is not for you. And if I turn it off just to conserve the water or energy, he is furious. I'm like, you have your own water bowl. Lisa got this for me, not you. Oh, he drinks out of every tear. Greg's like, I hope there's nothing toxic on those rocks. And I'm like, at this point, I don't give a shit because every time I turn around, I'm having to refill it for him. Everything is for him. My goodness, drives me nuts. So, I realize it's 2 days in a row we are talking about the case of Maddie Soto. Everything I dig up on this case turns my stomach yet another way. I really don't want to keep calling her mother out, but at some point, accountability has got to be served up to her. We had a lot of comments yesterday. A lot of you reached out to me personally saying, do you think? Do you think? And my mind is so blown, I don't know. I just don't know at this point. Could she have been that far in the dark to not know what was going on right underneath her nose? The probable cause affidavit regarding the SASB and all that stuff, all that nasty, nasty stuff, which I will not read on here. No way. They would rate this video 35 and over real quick. But the description of the pictures, I don't mean to put an image in your head. I don't see how all of this could be going on and pictures and videos be taken unless somebody else was in the room. And one of the rooms is verified to be in their home. Welcome to the neighborhood. It's just me. It's just me became a new YouTube member, and so did Chaos and Roses. Welcome, welcome. You're going to like us. You're going to like it. This is some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Brett said TF, for real. Pilo's mom said bingo, exactly. Elaine said mom was involved. Blondie said agreed. Angel P said who took the pictures? I mean, I'm no porn artist by any means, but I have had sex a few times in my life. Not with children, but you know what I mean. And to get those angles, I'd have to have some help. Only have 2 arms. Brett said at least 3 times. Yes, I've had sex 3 times. And I have the walking, talking adult sons to tell you, well, they can't tell you that part of it. They tell you everything else. Spoke to my son last night. We're trying to figure out when everyone's going to get together to come over and see, the house and everything. I would like for the boys to do an Easter egg hunt. They've already said no. And he goes, well, all I'm going to say is if I was you, I just wouldn't be putting up a bunch of baby pictures of me and my brothers. Can you find something like more recent? And I go, oh, like at your wedding, our family picture, and now your younger brother has broken up with his girlfriend, and I said to put her ass on the end, so if they broke up, I could cut her out. And he's like, oh, I didn't think about that. Well, maybe we can find a way to crop her out. I'm like, You made a Photoshop OJ in there? Kidding me? Ruined my whole family picture. I keep telling Scott, maybe you guys ought to patch it up. At least I can hang the picture on the wall for a little bit. I don't know. Tiffany said, and Kent said, you're too dramatic, sis. But he wants to sit there and have period cramps and tell me not to hang up baby pictures. I got all day for all 3 of them. Kimberly said, Brooks, my mom cut my ex-husband out of all the pics. R-Whip said, I can edit it for you. Really? Okay. Well, send me your email and I'll send it over. And with my luck, my son will show back up with her and she's going to see the picture and be like, where am I? I knew your family didn't like me. Brooks, I've only tried to be nice to you. That's what I'm going to get. So damned if you do, damned if you don't. Let's take a second and tell everybody happy Thursday. Almost made it to Friday. Welcome your neighbor Baptist style. So glad everybody is here and we almost made it to Friday. Now, once I get everything situated around here, we will be back to having a couple of shows a day. You know, I like to do 2 shows a day on Thursdays and Tuesdays. I normally do 2 for Tuesday, 2 for Thursday. Almost sounded good. So we will get onto that because there's a lot of cases that we really need to talk about and discuss, even if it's just a short show. But that's okay. There is always something in our neck of the woods to talk about. And today, it is definitely about Maddie Soto, because I cannot understand for the life of me how her mother didn't know what was going on. Not to be sexist, but she has a daughter. She has a daughter. She does her laundry. These things took place in her room. You cannot tell me that there wasn't something on the bed that would indicate she might not be doing well. The interview, which I have watched, I can't tell you how many times. OJ and I watched it for the 500th time this morning. It looks like the Library of Congress, all the notes I'm taking. I'm not trying to pick the woman apart. I know some people have come after me going, she's a victim too. Brooks, have you thought she's a victim too? Suck it up! Suck it up, bitch! You're a grown woman. You're a grown woman. You protect your daughter, and you tell Mr. Disney to get his lazy ass and his goofy suit out of your bedroom. This wasn't a new thing going on. It's been going on for over 2 years. Like I said, you do the laundry. You clean the house. Supposedly, you go through your daughter's phone all the time. Why didn't you go through Goofy's? Why didn't you see what Goofy had on his phone? Which, by the way, had been stored up until the day Maddie, quote unquote, went missing. Because that's when he accidentally did the factory reset. Well, that means he had been storing the nastiness that entire time. Let me tell you what, no old boy's going to be living with me and me not know how to get into his shit. I mean, the whole 9 yards. Bank account, social security number. I want his ex-wife's phone number. The whole thing. Your phone's laying there. I better be able to look at it. Done. Over. And Marie Marino, thank you for the super sticker. OJ needs his own fountain. Well, he has taken mine over. And Lisa Aldridge is so sweet. She would, send me another one and say, here, Brooks, here's your own fountain. But his black furry ass would take that one over too. He'd be like, oh, now I have 2 fountains. All right, let's get to the comments from the last show, and then I'm going to drop the link. I think Mama B's going to come up. She has a lot to say about this case, and she has been doing a ton of research. You're in good hands. All right. Now, this username is just a dot, not D-O-T, but a dot. So whoever you are, dot, great comment. Madeline was found in blue jeans, not shorts. So how did that happen? I want to talk about this. When her mother described her outfit and said she saw her, Crocs, black shorts, the hoodie, she was found in jeans. Why would you say she's in clothing that she didn't have on? I agree with Amy in Boston. Mama is in some hot water right now. She even told some of her friends that she is the one that dropped her off at school. We're going to talk about that. Tim Sinelli? I'm going to butcher that, aren't I? She was asleep for most of the way. Yeah, right. What kid is going to sleep on the way to school? They're anxious. They're getting ready to eat breakfast. They have projects due, homework to turn in, friends to see. Just going to sleep in the car? That's what he said. That's what Stefan said. Because he knew she was in the car dead. And wait till this probable cause comes out about the crime scene. I have a feeling it's going to take them quite a while to put it together. Because you're going to have combining charges now. I mean, they will be separate charges, but they all are going to come together. Thank you, Mary Beth. She said, found this channel through Titanium Built. Glad. I'm glad you did too, sweetheart. Slept on the way. He's such a liar. Sandy said, does anyone think that Stefan was into films for the dark web? I have a feeling that is part of the investigation. I have a feeling that is going to be part of the investigation. Because not only is he enjoying what he's been doing, but he wants to share with other sickos what he's been doing. Izzy, thank you for the super sticker. And look at you. You are gorgeous. Purple Drink said, what if mom was the one filming the abuse? Ugh. That and other things have crossed my mind way more than I want to admit. I just know that if you lie, you're hiding something. And there is no reason to lie if you're trying to find your daughter. You don't give the wrong description of where she was dropped off. You don't say you saw her that morning. You don't give out a description of what she was wearing. When that's not what she was wearing. You see, the police need that description. Because let's face it, pictures, especially in today's day and age, change quite a bit. Hell, I could take a picture of myself yesterday, if I went missing today, it'd look totally different. Who knows, especially with all these filters and, kids and, grown women with those bunny ears and shit all the time. They don't look anything like that in real life. But the clothing is specific. So why give a fake description? Thank you, Journey to Justice, for the super sticker. I'm so happy you are here. Y'all are making me blush. I look at this. This is from a friend of Jen Soto's. Please be on the look for Maddie Soto. She is 13 years old and never made it to school today at Hunters Creek Middle School. Her mom dropped her off at the church by school this morning. She is wearing a bright green hoodie, black shorts, no, and white Crocs. She has been reported missing. Please call the authorities if you see her. Mom has contacted the media. Okay, I'll give her that. This is why there hasn't been an Amber Alert. Now, we probably need to do an entire show on Amber Alerts because they are specific to each state. You see, where I'm from in Oklahoma, they have to have a license tag and who the child was last seen with. Tennessee and Iowa, if the child is just not with their guardian or parents, it's considered an Amber Alert. I think there was other reasons in the state of Florida, in the Sunshine State, to not issue the Amber Alert. I think authorities figured it out real quick that this active search was actually going to be an active recovery. Why did she say to her friend that she dropped her off at school? Why is she covering for this fool? Who's more important? Mr. Disney or your daughter? I need to know. This was posted in one of the Maddie Soto groups. This is from rover.com. This is when Jen was offering her dog walking services. I'm home 24/7 and this is my only income. They have two dogs, Sailor and Coda. Very odd here. Very odd. She changed her name on Facebook from Jen Soto, which is her name, to Sailor Coda, as if people weren't going to figure out she changed her name. Now all social media is gone. Gone. Susie Sue caught it too. Sailor Coda is her new name on Facebook. Well, that is until she took down her Facebook altogether. Instead of playing around on social media and messing with this account or this account, if I was her, homegirl, if you're listening, you need to get you a lawyer. You need to get a lawyer. Not like I'm trying to help you get out of anything, but let's just make the process go a little smoother. Whew. I don't even know what to say about all this. This was posted on Fox 35 Orlando. We're going to go through it. This is from a memorial service that my understanding is none of the family attended. Why would you not attend her memorial service? It's not the funeral. It's not the funeral. But still, they didn't attend a respectful memorial service for Madeline. I'm sure they didn't want to have a lot of questions and things like that thrown at them. It looks worse to hide than to show your face. I'm sorry. And these are people in the community that are very touched by what happened to Madeline. I want to say thank you to Jenny Brown before we get to it. Gift in the Crime Lines and Laws memberships. And Tanya Rodriguez, thank you for the super sticker. Woo, what is going on? You guys are the best. Kat's gonna get a spanking. Kat sent a super sticker. Thank you, my friend. Really disturbs me that they didn't go. Who cares what the public thinks of your ass? You go to show your respect, not just to Madeline, but to the community that has poured their hearts out looking for Madeline.
Again tonight with remembering Maddie Soto, a church packed with people paying their respects. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lisa Goldsmith.
And I'm Luann Sorrell. The memorial taking place in Osceola County. Fox 35's Hannah McKenzie is live there tonight. So Hannah, was Maddie's family in attendance?
Well, Luann, behind me now an empty lot, but earlier that was packed, and church officials say they did get the blessing from Soto's family to have this event tonight, but we do not believe they were in attendance here. As the community continues to mourn Maddie Soto's loss, they're also asking for her justice.
There are times where words just feel so inadequate. And sometimes our tears are all that we have.
A service of hope and healing held Wednesday night at Peace Church Orlando in memory of Maddie Soto, some of her Hunters Creek classmates in attendance.
She was a sweet girl and she did not deserve this.
Soto's disappearance turned murder, hitting some of the community's youngest members hard.
There's still going to be a hole in people's hearts, but it might close it a bit more just if there's justice.
Stefan Stearns, Soto's mother's boyfriend, named prime suspect in her disappearance.
Oh, he is the prime suspect. Let me tell you what, we talk about this on this channel quite a bit. These sickos, some people call them psychopaths, some people call them peds, whatever you want to call them. They have such a long reach of their evil. It doesn't just affect the victim. These are kids in the school. This is hard enough for us to wrap our minds around. Then there's kids that see an empty desk and a locker being searched by police. They see police talking to students at the school. It's got to be extremely scary for them. I feel horrible for these kids.
But not yet charged in her death. A crime scene photo seemingly showing Soto's body in a wooded area in St. Cloud, later posted to Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez's Instagram account.
How do you post a crime scene photo on Instagram? It was just totally unbelievable.
Belvin Perry.
Do you guys think that maybe this crime scene photo being accidentally or accidentally on purpose posted is being blown up a little too much? I mean, yeah, it is damn disturbing. Don't get me wrong. No way I'm going to show it. And the family can file a civil suit. They certainly can. Connie said it wasn't an accident, but yes. Do you really think that this crime scene photo coming out, it's not the first time it's ever happened, is going to derail prosecution or justice? Now, it's going to probably give defense attorneys something they think that they can point out if the judge allows them to point it out to the jury, and the judge probably won't. Look, we have mountains of evidence over here, and you want to talk about a photo? An after-the-fact photo? And you're right, Princess. I'm just afraid the defense is going to run with it, sadly. Yeah. Anything for reasonable doubt. I get it. I get it. So I really hope there is a stern judge overseeing this that says, you do understand that this is a picture of a deceased child. And we're probably going to have a 6-week trial. Discussing what happened to her over the years. So go on with your bad self.
Jr., former chief judge for the 9th Judicial Circuit, says this leak could have numerous legal repercussions.
Number one, there's the possibility of a third-degree felony charge. Number two, depending on the circumstances and some of the effects upon the family, i.e. the mother, there's the possibility of a civil suit.
Do you think, in your professional opinion, this could have evidentiary impact moving forward on Madeline Soto's case?
There's going to be questions raised about the integrity of the evidence and chain of custody. I hope that they will dot every I and cross every T, because with this gaffe, the defense will look for other things that they may have mishandled.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement is now investigating. We reached out to FDLE for more information. Other than to confirm they are investigating the incident, they declined to give additional details. Live in Kissimmee, Hannah McKenzie, Fox 35 News.
Well, I hope they're done talking about the leaked photo. I really hope they are. Because the more scumbuckets that keep talking about it, the more it's going to make an impact. Now, as far as change of venue in the Orlando area, just from what I have been reading and cases I have followed over the years, it's change of venue doesn't happen that often. If I'm wrong, let me know, because we want to have the facts. I really don't know why they would want to have a change of venue. It's not like it's a small town. They have a lot of jurors to panel. A lot. And I guess we'll look for that in, 2026? That'll be a while. All right, last night, Vinny, he was all over it. 3 big things. Okay, another thing I want to ask you guys about. I'm going to drop the link again if anybody wants to come up. Why is the Disney connection so important? Why? I can't tell you how many people have tried to argue with me and go, he didn't work for Disney. He didn't work for Disney. He didn't work for Disney. I don't give a shit. I don't care if he was shoveling alligator shit. I don't care. That's where he worked. Woo! Look who we got backstage. What's up, Brittany?
Hey, good morning.
Someone pick your brain. Do you think that the leaked photo has gotten a little overblown?
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing about it.
Okay.
There's so much more that we need to focus on. That's important. Like who actually committed this crime, you know? And I'm with you. Like the more that the leaked photo is focused on and talked about, the more, you know, the stuff that needs to be the center focus, like justice for this baby, is just kind of on the back burner. I don't
Mhm.
know. I'm with you.
And it's basically, the talking heads that are giving it a focus. So I
Yeah.
can't say that it's anything with law enforcement. Nothing's been filed. I mean, of course they're going to do an investigation. They do that stuff all the time. They live for it. Now, let me ask you this. And I will not show the picture and I will not go through the probable cause affidavit. I know many people have asked me, are you going to go through it? Are you going to go through it? Uh-uh. 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 Nope. I am shocked that it's not sealed. I am
Yeah.
shocked it's not sealed.
That okay. So for me, things played out a little differently. Let's just say that uh for me it was one of those things where I learned a hard lesson for my channel. I read the probable cause for the first time on panel. There was a lot of people in chat saying, "Have you seen it? Have you seen it?" I was like, "Well, let's grab it." Couldn't imagine, never in a million years would have thought that it said what it would say what it said. And I can just tell you, I'll never again will I blindly walk into something like that.
Oh,
It's
girl,
horrific.
girl, don't beat yourself up. You know how many times someone has said, I sent you an email, or look at my message, or I sent you a text, and I read it out, and I'm like, wow, I look like an asshole now. Because I mean, people hear things and stuff like that, but that affidavit, I don't know how you got through it, but don't beat yourself up.
PCA is by far the most graphic that I've ever read out of any case I've ever done.
My question is, the probable cause affidavit is graphic. I mean, it is graphic.
Mm-hmm.
How were these videos and pictures taken through these depraved acts?
It's a good question. I've thought about that myself. I've even pondered, was it by him in the act, or was there a third party? And if that's the case, there's a lot of there's a lot more there. Have you looked at the apartment, the place where they lived?
Yes, and the probable cause affidavit even said that the pictures from the photos and video were basically in the apartment, in the condo.
Brooks, it's small. I mean, it's compacted together, and I was looking through Zillow last night, and I'm like, I'm really having a hard time trying to figure out how some activities like that could take place without her knowing. And then I hear, now I don't know, this is according to a friend, that they were, out of the 2 years that Jen Soto and Stephen Stearns lived in the home together, they were only technically in a relationship for 6 months of those 2 years.
They've been together since 2018.
Right. So that's what That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I'm listening to different interviews from
No, they.
people.
I mean, you can. I mean, well, her Facebook isn't up right now. I mean, you can. I mean, you can clearly see it could be longer. They've been
Yeah.
together since 2018. The woman that cuts his hair and that ISIS beard, she was like, he was always bragging on Madeline, how he's raised her from, I mean, basically a baby. Lala, thank you. You took the words out of my mouth. With the mom saying she was there 24/7. She was starting this dog walking business. I'm here 24/7. This is my only source of income. Well, if you're there 24/7, home skillet, and you're doing the laundry and you're taking care of your daughter, how did you not notice anything?
Yeah, come on. And for the amount of time that the mistreatment, if you will, was taking place, you didn't notice any behavioral changes? You can't tell me that a child's not going to experience behavioral changes going through something like that. You didn't, like you said, her laundry. Um, even Brooks, I have a daughter. She's 18 now, but I can tell you, as a mom, I knew my daughter's cycle and things like that. It's things that were important. And I
Cleaning
just
laundry, taking out the trash. I mean, all of that stuff. And I'm not saying that Madeline was menstruating at 11 years old. That would cause a mom even more panic to see something in their sheets or their underwear and say, honey, are you okay?
exactly.
We're going to have to take you to the doctor because I noticed something. Can't really say it out loud here, but I mean, we have a lot of women here. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so horrible. It's so horrible to even think about. But I mean, the more that you allow your mind to ponder, the more and more it just seems so less likely that she had no clue. Like she had to have known something.
She had to have been in pain. He's a grown man. She was 11 when this started.
Exactly.
Hell, we know when our kids are faking being sick, and we know when they're really sick.
Mm-hmm.
Did she not notice any sort of discomfort her daughter had to have been feeling?
Mm-hmm.
And we know damn good and well that there had to have been some sort of injury, to put it lightly.
Thank you. I was trying to figure out how to. Yes, exactly, Brooks. Exactly. I mean, you're talking about. I mean, let's just be frank here. Trigger warning: 220-pound, 6'2" individual versus a 5'1", 100-pound little girl. I mean, it's seriously a wonder to me how she wasn't hospitalized.
I also want to know, that's a very good point. I also want to know how many times she was seen by a doctor.
Yes.
In 2 years, because they have a way of picking up on things.
Yep.
And they can tell real easily if it's any sort of OB/GYN appointment, if there's any violation going on there.
Absolutely.
Because the probable cause affidavit mentioned a couple of areas of her body which had to have had injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Damn sick. I don't know who I'm more mad at right now.
I know.
The pet or the mom. It's like,
Yeah.
my anger, it's just going all over the place. Well, Vinny's
oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Vinny's spray tan is wearing off. So let's look at this.
Okay.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you for joining us here on Closing Arguments. This hour, we're going in depth into one of the big investigations that is taking place right now, perhaps the biggest in the nation, criminal investigations. We're talking about the case out of Central Florida involving this young girl, just 13 years old. Maddie Soto had just celebrated her 13th birthday and then went missing on February 26th. Her birthday was on the 22nd. They had a celebration on the 25th. And this hour, we're going to go through three things that I want to take a look at. And I want to begin with an accidental release that happened. And this was a little bit disturbing, surprising, and not welcomed, I don't think, by the public in what happened here. It involves a crime scene photo. This is from reporting from Fox 35, a statement made by the sheriff. This is what the sheriff said. A post was made on social media about a community event for seniors. In the post, an investigative photo was accidentally included. The photo was immediately removed. We deeply apologize for any confusion or disturbance this may have caused. And that comes from the Osceola County Sheriff's Office. So what exactly was released here accidentally? Well, there's another post I want you to take a look at. This came from, I guess, a political opponent of that sheriff.
I think it was accidentally on purpose. I think they're trying to get ahead of the jury. What do you think, Brittany?
Yeah. The thing is, it's if not, it's completely gross negligence, because I was thinking about this. They claimed that it was supposed to be a picture from the senior living, like a nursing home from that day. Okay, why do you have photos from the senior center mixed in with crime scene photos to begin with? Crime scene photos, that shouldn't even be in the same area where you could mix that up. And I'm also trying to figure out how you accidentally post that on Instagram by accident, because there's a series of different steps you have to take to upload a photo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have the caption and everything. It just seems so. I don't know how that could be an accident, Brooks. It just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
I think it was to get their point across that because a lot of people were arguing because of what the mother had said, that she dropped her off well and alive outside of the church, and then said, no, my partner did. And she was seen on camera and went missing between 8:45 and 9. I think it was posted on purpose, and I do not think it is going to derail this case at all.
No, I actually didn't consider that. Wow, that's brilliant.
Well, every now and then I can pull it out of my ass.
Well, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I remember, I actually just heard last night on one of the mainstream, like local stations, local news affiliates there, they did in fact say that they didn't think that it was going to have any bearing or effect on the case itself.
I don't see how it could, because I mean, what do you want to pick apart? This accidentally on purpose picture that was leaked onto Instagram, that was supposed to be talking about the old people's home? Or are you going to talk about the mountains of evidence that are going to come out of that house? And don't even forget, when the medical examiner is done with Maddie, they're going to find a lot of things on Maddie. Maddie is the crime scene. And they are going to comb her over there is going to be wounds that have healed and that were re-violated. We've seen it in other cases, and it's damn disgusting.
The former sheriff who's running again, former Osceola County Sheriff Russ Gibson, posted this on Facebook. The second photograph that I received was an Instagram post made by Marcos Lopez himself. This photograph was taken at an active crime scene where Madeline's body was recovered, and it was indeed a picture of Madeline's lifeless body. This is 100% unacceptable and 100% shameful and disrespectful to Madeline, her family, and friends. So, a picture from the crime scene posted accidentally of Madeline's lifeless body at the scene. All those types of images aren't allowed to be publicly disseminated in the state of Florida. And obviously, there are issues on how it could impact family, friends, and others. Ultimately, I don't think it will impact any trial or investigation. Then another post, or the same post, the sheriff continued, the first photo is a selfie of an Osceola Sheriff's Office civilian, Nerva La Sharifa Rodriguez, and the main suspect of the murder of Miss Madeline Soto as he's coming out of a building handcuffed. To post this photo for her own personal gain and notoriety is unacceptable and shameful. So here's what the former sheriff is talking about here. This was a selfie that was posted to Facebook. Although the post has since been deleted, that image was posted, and on it you can see the suspect in the background coming out, and then a selfie taken by a civilian working in the sheriff's office.
Well, I see great eyebrows and I see great eyelashes. I would love to know how she puts those on. She looks gorgeous. Reminds me I need to get my hair done. The dude in the background is what I'm looking at because he is pure D evil.
Oh, for sure. Yep. Now, what was she thinking, Brooks? Like, and there was a quote she had posted, or like some type of, like, it almost sounded like a dig at the mom, is the way I took it. Like talking about allowing evil to take over.
Oh, I think it was a dig at the mom too. I think all of this is to break the mom, because they knew right off the bat she had to be lying to them. If it doesn't make sense to me, it damn sure can't make sense to them, especially since they've come out and said what they know. Their evidence does not support any of her statements. So what is she covering for? Him or her? Because she's damn sure not here for Madeline.
Exactly. It's
not
horrific.
in great taste. Not in great taste at all. And sort of unfortunate parts of what has transpired in this investigation so far. But that man, Stephen Stearns, let's talk about him. And a lot of chatter and talk. Was this guy a Disney employee? Did he work for Disney? Now, if you go to his Facebook page, it's pretty clear. He posts up there that he was, in fact, a cast member at Walt Disney World. And for those of you not familiar with what a cast member at Walt Disney World is, that's someone who works there. You don't have to be one of the characters wearing the costume. You just have to work at Disney, and you're considered a cast member.
Okay, we spoke about this yesterday because one of you, not going to call you out, sent me an email because, well, this person still works there, and said it's through a staffing agency. So when Disney says they're not an employee of ours, well, I mean, I guess technically they're not, because they're through a staffing agency. His ass worked there to the point that he had exclusive tickets as a cast member. Mona was one. the dune ride, the 50th anniversary. They had the whole park to themselves. That is not something you can get unless your last name is Disney or you work there. This is what Jen posted back in the spring. Last spring, not this spring. Last night was Disney's iridescent evening for cast members, and it was such a blast. We had an empty park all to ourselves, unlimited snacks, drinks, and ice cream. Really felt the love from all the cast members. Proud to be part of this 50th anniversary celebration this year. They were also the first ones, one of the first ones to ride the new Dune ride. The cast of Mona got to go to that exclusive opening, and also the woman that was trimming his Isis beard and cutting his hair and waxing his earlobes said he would get her exclusive tickets. So is it a big deal where he really worked or not? And when people say, oh, well, Disney said he didn't work there. Well, they also said the same thing about the 35 people that they found working at Disney when Sheriff Grady Judd said they have done this bust of Disney cast members. And they said then, oh, they're not employees here because they're through a staffing agency.
Member. So based upon that, a lot of folks are a little worried based upon the allegations he's facing now for those photographs on his cell phone that he was arrested for, sexual abuse. We believe that victim in those photos is Madeline, but working at Disney. So here's what the Orange Observer is reporting about whether or not he works at Disney. And despite information on the Facebook profile belonging to Stephen Stearns, the man arrested February 28th in the case of missing 13-year-old Maddie Soto was not a Disney cast member, officials confirmed. So not a cast member. Was he a former cast member? Did he?
Do your homework. No way he could have gotten all of those tickets in the park to himself if he didn't have some connection at that park.
Well, according to the guy Frank, who claims to have known him, and everything that I've looked at checks out, he claims that Stephen worked. Indeed, he worked for Disney, and it was for Epcot, and it was actually for one of the oh my God, I forgot. It's like the sentences, like your I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, he was over a specific ride in Epcot, like that. But he indeed did work there, and actually he was saying that he believed that he was there the same time Madeline's mother was.
Well, because I mean, as of last week, Jen Soto worked for Disney. That's where she worked.
Yep.
And as far as I can see, maybe you have seen something else. I don't see that Stephen had a record before. So, I mean, look, no one's blaming Mickey Mouse here. No one's blaming Pooh Bear or Tigger. We're just saying that's where the fool worked.
Mm-hmm.
Collide, I hope you're right. There's a picture on Twitter of Stephen in the uniform. Exactly. Not to mention, we've seen video of his dumbass walking around in the Goofy costume, welcoming people at the snow cone machine. So question is, Title of the show: Will Jen Soto be charged? Is she involved? We know she lied to police, hands down. She gave a fake description of what Madeline had on that day. You can lie to your friends, but you're really not supposed to lie to the police. They can get your ass for that. She said she dropped her off and then said, no, my partner did. Well, I don't get these terms, partner. What is he? He's your boyfriend, your fiance? Carla said, yes, charge her. My partner. Ridiculous.
I'm Vinny Politan. Thank you for joining us here on Closing Arguments. This hour, we're going in depth into one of the big investigations that is taking place right now, perhaps the biggest in the nation, criminal investigations. We're talking about the case out of Central Florida involving this young girl, just 13 years old. Maddie Soto had just celebrated her 13th birthday and then went missing on February 26th. Her birthday was on the 22nd. They had a celebration on the 25th. And this hour, we're going to go through.
Now, this is a huge question. Her birthday's on the 22nd. They celebrated on the 25th. So they had her birthday party a few days after her birthday. Why not have the party when mom can be there? Don't you want to celebrate your daughter's 13th birthday? I mean, she's a teenager now. That's a milestone.
Mm-hmm. Make it make sense. Like, why would you not? You obviously know your work schedule. And not only that, if he was at that party, how awkward is it that he has her at the party with all of Jen Soto's family, but Jen's not there? It's just, it's so out of place. It makes no sense at all.
I'll be like, I have to work this weekend. Her birthday is on Thursday. I have to work on Thursday, but I'm off on Tuesday. So we're all going to get together on Tuesday and celebrate her birthday. Not on a day she's working. That's ridiculous. Kat said they will give her a proffer, I think. I'm telling you what, that has been rolling around in my mind for days. This has got Kayla Montgomery vibes all over it. We also know in the case of Gannon Stout, his stepsister Harley was given a proffer agreement. Meaning if you don't work with us, you're going to jail too.
See, I have a little bit of a different thought here. I kind of wonder if she has more of a hand in it. Like, not just that she's aware of what happened and she's just protecting him, but I wonder if she was not a part of maybe what happened to Madeline based off of the timeline. Because if she really called, okay, and I think it was a probable cause where it said she called him to come take Madeline to school that morning. Like, why? That nags me. It almost makes me wonder. And police, if you in the press conference where they announced that she's no longer alive, they constantly say that they've seen him move her. They believe he moved her body that morning. But when they ask, so are you saying that he unalived her in that house? The law enforcement was very careful to say, we believe that he moved her around that morning. So I would not be surprised, Brooks, if a twist arises and she could possibly be the one at fault for Madeline not being here.
Oh, I agree. I'm going to read part of the probable cause affidavit, not all of it. Not all of it. On February 26, 2024, at approximately 2,000 hours. What time? What? That's military time. What time is that? 8 o'clock, right? That's 8 o'clock. I'm reading the probable cause affidavit. Anyone know military time? Don't make me use my fingers and count.
So 2000 is 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. So you're at the school to pick her up after school, but you wait till 8 p.m. to call. All right, but she said she called at 4:45. I'm reading the probable cause affidavit. Okay, so 8 o'clock. See, this is the reason. This is like when people give me directions and they use bullshit like north, south, east, west. Just tell me what Burger King to turn at. Hate that crap. Anyway, 8 o'clock, 13-year-old, they black out her name, was reported missing by her mother. The mother advised her daughter's stepfather, Stephen Stearns, picked her up from home and dropped her off at Hunters Creek Middle School. That is not possible because she was already deceased. This is an affidavit. This is a sworn statement. Unless he picked her up deceased and then went and threw away the laptop and the backpack. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, that's kind of that's kind of where my mind's at with it.
It's got to make sense. The mother advised her daughter's stepfather, Stephen Stearns, picked her up from home and dropped her off at Hunters Creek Middle School, Orlando, Florida, on February 26, 2024. The mother then went to pick her up from school at dismissal and learned she never showed to school. But we know that she never made it to school, and the story changed again and said that he dropped her off outside of a church. It was even said because she was embarrassed about what he was driving. She wasn't on any church video. Jen put that out there. An interview was conducted with Stephen. During the interview with Stephen, he provided consent to search his phone. However, he stated that he had accidentally performed a factory reset on his phone on February 26, 2024. And from there, I'm not going to read anymore because it is disturbing as hell.
Three things that I want to take a look at, and I want to begin with an accidental release that happened, and this was a little bit disturbing, surprising, and not welcomed, I don't think, by the public. And
okay, we've already been through that. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting too upset with this whole situation. Let's go through what Jen said in her interview.
Jen, go ahead and tell us what's going on with Maddie.
Well, Monday morning, we took her to school. Right off the bat, I will not get that out of my head. Monday morning, we took her to school. Hang on. Journey to Justice said her sister put that out there about the video.
Okay, so she says her sister talked to the people at the church, and the church told her what they seen on footage. I still wholeheartedly believe that Jen added all those details, because officially now they're saying that the footage is too grainy to make out anybody or what anything on there. To have that many details, I still think you're right. I think Jen just added all of those details, that her daughter was seen in the parking lot walking around until 9 a.m. and then she's walking in the direction of the school. She got all of that from the church, but the police say that the church video is so grainy you can't make anything out. I just don't believe that. I think that was added details, because she needs us to believe that her daughter was dropped off, because if you believe that Maddie's dropped off that morning, then she must have been okay up until that point.
I think they were trying to stage a random abduction as well.
Oh yes, she definitely was trying to push that Maddie was abducted.
I mean, she even gave her own timeline. She disappeared between 8:45 and 9 a.m. How does she know?
Exactly.
At this point, how does she know she disappeared? How does she know she's not at a friend's house? How does she know she's not with a boyfriend? How does she know she didn't go swimming? How does she know that she didn't spend the day at Disney? But she made that clear, 8:45 to 9 a.m. I have a feeling 8:45 to 9 a.m. is when she was dumped in the woods.
Makes sense.
We dropped her off close to school, across the street from a church, which is it's right next to the school. She crossed the street and walked to school, what we thought walked to school. My boyfriend who drove her to school drove away at that point. It was seen on video footage that she hung out in the parking lot of the church for a few minutes and then got up and walked towards the school. But she never made it that walk and that was around 9 a.m. when she got up. She never made it to school after that. It's right next to the school. I don't know why she didn't make it. I don't know if something happened on her walk along the way or if she got taken, but she never made it.
And that was the last anyone seen of her or heard from her?
Yes. I went to pick her up after school, and she wasn't there. So I started driving around, maybe thinking she took a walk. Maybe she decided to walk to my mom's office, which is pretty close to the school as well. Drove around and I didn't see anything. I drove back to the school. The school was closed. I emailed one of her teachers. They confirmed that she was absent all day. At that point is when I called 911 because I realized something was truly wrong.
Okay, no. Probable cause affidavit said 911 was called at 8 p.m. 8 o'clock. Why would you go to your mom's office? Why would you email a teacher? Why don't you get a hold of Mr. Disney and ask him what's going on?
I'm going to tell you something else I think that she's completely lying about too. So I looked up dismissal for this school, and they dismiss Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. They dismiss at 4:05 p.m. So if so you drove to the school to pick her up. She wasn't there. You circled the block to see if you seen her, and when you drove back to the school was already closed. How many of you know of a school that closes within 20 minutes of dismissal? Like that to me rings of a lie. Like I don't know any school that shuts down that quickly. And that's 4 hours. 4 hours between the time that she went to go pick her up
Mm-hmm.
and the police phone call to
Mm-hmm.
911.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell did you do for 4 hours?
Thank you. So between when you found out the school was closed and you went to your mama's office, what did you do in between that time? What'd you do? Go home and paint your toenails? What did you do? Were you seen out looking for her? What did you do? That can be confirmed.
Heard from like any of her friends? Has she been active on any social media?
She hasn't been active on social media, none of her chats, none of her games. We did contact all her friends. None of them had seen her Monday or heard from her. Yeah, there's no update.
And I have to ask this, and I know I hate doing it, but is she the type that would run away? Has this happened in the past or anything? Has she ever threatened to run away?
Never. She's never ever mentioned anything like this before, and she's not the type to want to do this. She did accidentally leave her phone on Monday, which is kind of normal for her. She's got ADHD and very forgetful.
Too bad, so sad. This ADHD thing, she left her phone behind because she's very forgetful. As a mom, that is your job to make sure your child gets out of the house with everything. And people with any sort of attention deficit issues, I don't like to label it, they'll have their phone before they'll put their damn shoes on.
That's what I said. Especially a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And also something else she said, when asked if this is like Maddie, has she ever threatened to run away or any, she says she's never done anything or mentioned anything like that. Well, what about your daughter telling a friend that she wanted to run away to the woods when she's 13? Now that will come from law enforcement. So why would she not mention that at all? Like if my God forbid my kid was missing and she said something to that degree, like she wants to run away to the woods, my first instinct's gonna be like, y'all go check the woods. Go see if my child's in the I'm gonna go see if my child's in the woods. She said she's going to the woods. She never mentions anything. She said everything in her phone checked out.
Mm-hmm. Nope. And also, like my 3 sons mentioned, Stefan was seen changing his tire around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, at this point, Disney, the phone, and leaked photos are the least of our worries. What were these 2 doing all damn day? Do we have
Exactly.
a Letitia thing going on where they were cleaning the hell out of the house?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think so. I think they were trying to take care of whatever they need, what they felt they could do to keep from getting caught and get their stories straightened out.
Mm-hmm.
And they also didn't they refuse to allow law enforcement to search
Yeah,
the apartment?
they had to get a warrant instead of just opening your door saying, "I need help." Not to mention how long it took to call 911. After you've called a couple of friends and family and nobody has heard from the child, you call the police.
So she left her phone at home, so there's no way to trace her. They tried tracing her school laptop, but that's off, so it's not pinging to anything.
Jen, what is your fear?
Okay, the phone is one thing, but as a mother, as a parent, she said, and her laptop, but it's off. As a mother, if you realize that your child has left their school laptop at home, would you not call the school and say, I've got to get her laptop?
100%. They use those laptops for the bulk of their work. So yeah, absolutely.
Ridiculous. I mean, it's not like, back in the day when you left a book at home and they're like, okay, we'll just, sit with your, the kid next to you and read off of them. And the laptop was trashed in the dumpster. He's seen on camera. He was seen on camera. But I'm saying, as a mother, would you not have been a little concerned saying, well, she left the laptop at home? You knew the laptop wasn't home. It was in the dumpster.
Here, I know you mentioned she's on games and stuff. Do you think she could have met somebody and tried to meet up with them?
She's open to us. She's open with us about, if she's got a crush with anyone, and she told us she had a crush on someone at school. And I looked at their messages, nothing was weird. I looked at all of her messages, all of her deleted messages. Nothing seemed weird. It didn't seem like she was talking to anyone. So I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like she may have been taken, because this is not like her at all, to just disappear and not let us know where she's going or who she's with. Yeah.
What are you getting from law enforcement? Are they actively searching for her? I mean, what happens?
All right, I'm going to pick on this a little longer. At some point in the day, let's just pretend, okay, let's just go to Bizarro World and say that Jen Soto has absolutely no idea of what's going on around her house. No idea. So as you're going through your daily routine, getting ready to go back to Disney to work or whatever, you say that you have access to her phone and you can check all that stuff. Did you not notice her phone sitting there? Would you, as a mother, not take it to her at school in case she needs to get a hold of you or plans have changed? No.
Now, especially that she doesn't have her phone with her.
So as far as I know, they're conducting a search around the school. Behind the school, there's a Shingle Creek. There's a wooded path area that you could walk. It's a hiking path. They are going back there with their canine dogs. They've taken a piece of her clothing to see if they can trace her scent. They're also taking their own vehicles. I'm not sure what type of vehicles, but they're going into the woods to search for her. But I don't feel like that's going to find anything right now. We've had people all day on that trail sending us photos to see if anything there looks familiar and like her personal belongings, and nothing is hers. So I'm not sure where to go from here. I'm just contacting the news to get the word out, to get some help, because I'm desperate. I'm a wreck right now.
So you think that she's been taken against her will?
I do think so, yes.
As a mom, what's your mother's intuition telling you right now?
I'm trying to hope for the best, but I'm scared for her. I want her to be okay. I want her to be safe. I don't want her to come back harmed. I just want her back. Whatever that means. I just want her back.
Are you getting any updates?
All right, Donna Wells. Let me tell you something right now. This is so reminiscent of Dawn Wells. That's why I'm going to call her Donna Wells from now on. In my heart, I know. In your heart, what are you talking about? In your heart, you know what has happened to her, but in your heart, you didn't know what King Isis behind you had been doing to your daughter for over 2 years? Forget your heart, use your damn brain. I'm just scared for her. Then what are you doing talking to this chick? These people drive me insane.
From law enforcement, I mean, yes, they're searching that small area, but have they gotten any hits on any scent or anything like that?
They haven't let me know anything. They haven't updated me since I spoke to them this morning. I've contacted them to get some information or to give them some leads, but I've heard nothing back.
And Jen, there's no way that she just being, a teenager was like, maybe had a fight with you or an argument with you and was like, you know what, I'm going to go hang out at so-and-so's house and teach her a lesson. Could that be a scenario?
I don't believe so. We actually haven't gotten into a fight in like a few weeks or arguments or anything like that. If anything, on Sunday, she celebrated her 13th birthday with my entire family and she had the best day. She was so happy. She showed us all her gifts. She's just a happy girl, and she showed it on Sunday night when she went to bed. She was so happy. So, she had the best day. I just, there was no moment in that evening from when she got home from the party that she had her phone or had the laptop. She went straight to getting ready and went to bed. So I know she didn't have any conversations with anyone. She didn't make plans with anyone. I didn't.
Who took the phone and the laptop? You're at home. She gets home from the party, according to her. She didn't have her phone. She didn't have her laptop. So she had no communication with anyone. Why? You live in a tiny little condo. So where was her stuff? Where was the phone and laptop? Why was the laptop and backpack thrown away, but the phone was given to the police? Jen, if we can believe her, said they have her phone now. Well, they found the laptop and they found the backpack. They have him on camera. Stephen bin Laden throwing it away. But she makes a note of that. Nobody asked her a damn thing about the laptop. So why is she bringing up the laptop? The reporter didn't ask anything about the laptop. Anytime these people put things in that no one asked them about, well, it raises my unplucked eyebrow for sure. Listen to this again.
Are you getting any updates from law enforcement? I mean, yes, they're searching that small area, but have they gotten any hits on any scent or anything like that?
They haven't let me know anything. They haven't updated me since I spoke to them this morning. I've contacted them to get some information or to give them some leads, but I've heard nothing back.
And Jen, there's no way that she just being, a teenager was like, maybe had a fight with you or an argument with you and was like, you know what, I'm going to go hang out at so-and-so's house and teach her a lesson. Could that be a scenario?
I don't believe so. We actually haven't gotten into a fight in like a few weeks or arguments or anything like that.
I've got question after question. Question after question. First off, I want to say thank you to Jenny Brown for the super sticker. She said she's so open with mom. You would think Madeline would talk about the essay. This is very true. And you would think, considering as graphic as the probable cause affidavit is, you would think mom would have picked up on it on her own. Let's face it, mom is a female. Madeline is a female. She would have realized over 2 years something was going on. Nerdy Girl said exactly, why throw away the backpack and laptop? It makes no sense. She can't keep her story straight. Well, she can't be scared of old boy now if that's truly what's going on. And if she's scared of Stephen bin Laden, I really don't care, because she's a big girl. She's the mama. It is her job to protect her child. 100%. I just have a feeling it's going to go one way or another for her. She's going to be offered a proffer agreement. To testify against him, or there's going to be some charges.
If anything, on Sunday, she celebrated her 13th birthday with my entire family, and she had the best day. She was so happy. She showed us all her gifts. She's just a happy girl, and she showed it on Sunday night when she went to bed. She was so happy. So, she had the best day. I just, there was no moment in that evening from when she got home from the party that she had her phone or had the laptop. She went straight to getting ready and went to bed. So I know she didn't have any conversations with anyone. She didn't make plans with anyone. I didn't see any of that.
So she's spent the whole Sunday celebrating her 13th birthday. Was her 13th birthday on that Sunday, or that was just like the time you guys were celebrating?
That was the time we were celebrating. Her birthday was on Thursday, the 22nd. She just turned 13.
But that's just so heartbreaking to be celebrating her 13th birthday, and then the very next day, that's gone. The last you've seen of her.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you go now? Are you gonna go out there?
She's like, and that's the last time you saw her. She goes, yeah. But she said to a friend, she's the one that took her to school. She said that she called Stefan to come pick her up and take her to school. She described her clothing. So how is she saying now that's the last time she saw her the night before? She didn't make plans with anybody, didn't have her laptop, nothing like that. She changed her clothes and went straight to bed. Something in her story has got to make sense. Kiki, thank you for the super sticker, said she is delusional and failed protecting her child. I have a question about this because we say it on the show all the time. They failed to protect their child. We have seen it in so many cases. Did they fail, or did they just not try? Did they put their needs above the child? We talked about it most recently in the case of Harmon Montgomery. We had to hear all the boo-hoo from Kayla. How Teardrop had a crazy look in his eye, and so she knew not to mess with him. We've heard people talk about Candace Wells saying, oh, it's battered women's syndrome. Are you kidding me? You really want to meet Candace Wells in a dark alley? And as much as it gets me in trouble, I'll say it about Al Stout as well. You can't tell me he didn't realize that Gannon was getting picked on immensely by Letitia.
There and search or look, or what is your, are you sticking by the phone? Are you, what are you doing?
I'm staying at home, staying by the phone, hoping she just appears. I know my entire family is out looking. They've all spread a bunch of flyers. I've had people contact me that they've gone to the international airport to spread flyers, to Amtrak, to Greyhound, just any way that if someone's taken her and they're trying to take her, just to show her face, just to make sure, she's not being taken against her will.
And you mentioned ADHD. Was there anything else maybe mentally going on, or that you knew of?
She does suffer from anxiety, and once upon a time she was diagnosed with autism. We had her what's the word?
Brained, maybe?
Reevaluated.
Okay.
We had her reevaluated a few months ago, actually, and they told us no, she didn't have autism, but she did have some autistic traits. She did have ADHD, some autistic traits, but not autism. So I'm not sure where to leave with that, because one doctor said she did and one doctor saying she doesn't, and I don't know. She's just in the middle, I guess, because she does have some tendencies, but socially she's pretty great. So I'm not sure.
And with the video that you were able to see whenever your boyfriend dropped her off, where was that? Which video? Was that a surveillance camera?
It was a surveillance camera from the church, Peace Church, right next to Hunters Creek Middle School.
And do you have that video?
I don't have that. They didn't show me. They wouldn't show me. It was actually my sister was the one at location, and they were letting her know what they saw on camera.
Okay.
But they didn't show it to any of us.
Got it.
And that turned out, obviously, to not be Madeline. Madeline was deceased before he even left the house. He disposed of the laptop and the backpack around 7:30 a.m. Annie Rundown, thank you for the super sticker, said, I think they got rid of the backpack because it would look suspicious if they say she's going to school and the backpack's at home. You're 100% right. And the laptop. The phone is one thing, but they wanted to keep her phone. I'm just going to say he, because at this point, we do not know if mom's involved or not. We don't. We don't. I can speculate all day, but until the investigators finish their investigation, it is very telling that Stefan has not been charged with murder yet. Sorry to say it and put that out in the universe, but it is very telling that there's no new charges on him. Not like the ones that are on him right now are not horrific enough. But you're exactly right, Annie. Get rid of the backpack and the laptop and say she's at school. Mama She said, I will go to the ends of the earth to protect my babies. I know you will, girlfriend. You're a wonderful mother.
Okay. Jen, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Please, 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 if you have any information, contact me, contact law enforcement. Any information helps. Maddie, if you see this, please come home. Please be safe. I love you very much. If you have my Maddie, please just let her come home. We just want her home.
All right. Well, good afternoon.
I'm getting more mad by the second. Salt and Cayenne said, exactly, Brooks. I want DP, though maybe they are making sure they have full proof on him. Interesting. I do too. I know a lot of people disagree with the DP, but I have zero issue with it. Not that I would want to be the one to administer it. I have a hard enough time just putting a damn Band-Aid on. But he can get the DP just for what was on his phone. Because when the abuse started on Madeline, she was under the age of 12. And that's in the state of Florida. Remember, every state's different. Annie said, ugh, she is so fake, I can't. I need wine. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, girlfriend. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. All right, Dr. G broke down Jen's statements. And I think he's seen a lot of what we are seeing. I am not a behavioral expert, no way, shape, or form. But I know something with mama here isn't sitting right.
Here, I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and body language expert, and today we're going to be analyzing the behavior and body language of Jennifer Soto. Jennifer Soto is the mother of Madeline Soto, whose body was recently recovered after she went missing for a few days. Jennifer's boyfriend has been arrested due to illicit content on his phone that he attempted to wipe. In addition, he's considered a suspect in the murder of Madeline Soto. Before we get started, a couple of quick things. One, I wanted to remind you that this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. What we're going to be looking at today is an interview with Jennifer Soto while Madeline was missing, but before her body was found. Let's just jump right in.
Jennifer Soto, Jenniffer Soto.
Mother.
So you're already going to notice that she has a tremendous amount of anxiety coursing through her. Her head is shaking because her body is shaking so much. That's a lot of adrenaline. Now, anybody whose child is missing is going to feel anxious. So we've got a baseline of just feeling anxious. We're going to go ahead and start with that, and we'll see what else emerges.
Jennifer, tell me how you feeling right now.
You can also see that her lips are pursed. She's biting on her lips or keeping her lips tucked in. We oftentimes see that as a way to pacify ourselves. Sometimes it's a way to not say something. Usually if we're talking and asked a question and we remove our lips, that's a way of not wanting to respond. She's already doing it, so I see that more right now as a pacifying behavior than an attempt not to say something.
I feel like I can't breathe. All I keep thinking about is, where is she? Is she safe? Is she okay? But we're all a wreck. My entire family is a mess.
The I can't breathe. The I can't breathe. Don't be surprised if the COD doesn't come out as strangulation, asphyxiation. The way, I don't know because I'm not a medical examiner, but the way she is shaking that leg, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Then we try to heap the sympathy on. I'm a mess. My family's a mess. I'm shaking my leg right now. I can't breathe. I am not going to be surprised at all if that's not what happened to her.
We're just so worried.
Her emotional expression is interesting. I think that's the only way that I can describe it. It's not typically how you would expect someone to respond. That doesn't mean she's doing it wrong, but the way that she looks versus the way that she sounds is very different. She appears very anxious, her body's shaking, and yet there's a quality about the way she's speaking that seems very calm and casual. It's a very interesting mix of two very different ways of expressing oneself, but it can be confusing to see this.
When did you first realize, or when did you file a missing report?
We filed a missing report. We called the police at like 4:45.
8 o'clock, homegirl. 8 o'clock. The probable cause affidavit is 8 o'clock, not 4:45. School let out at 3:20. That is verified by the school. You said you went to your mom's office. Who did you call? Did you call any of her friends? Did you call Disney bin Laden? Did you call him? Did you call his ass up and say, I'm here, where is she? Did she mention she had plans or anything? So between, let's say, 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock, what were you doing? What were you doing? Well, look who made it in. Heatherlicious. What you doing, girlfriend? Glad you made it in.
Yesterday, 4:45 p.m. But she actually went missing.
Now, I want you to keep in mind, she's being asked questions and she's responding directly. She is answering the exact questions that she's being asked. This cannot be said of Stefan Stearns. When you watch his interview, he's asked questions and he does not respond. He gives vague answers. He doesn't provide details and oftentimes doesn't answer the questions at all.
Early that morning, around between 8:45 and 9 o'clock in the morning, she went missing. We had dropped her off close to the school.
She said we had dropped her off. Now, these statements, these we statements, seem to be getting her into trouble because apparently it was Stefan Stevens who was the one who drove her to school. Apparently she was not part of it. So as she's saying we, it's making it sound inconsistent.
She wanted to walk the rest of the way.
This look right here has been a concern for a lot of people. How could she smile and act a little bit silly while her daughter is missing when something so grave and so serious is going on? And what's possible is she may have a very unusual way of expressing her emotions. One thing that we have not seen yet, and we don't see throughout this, is her faking emotions. Stefan Stearns very clearly was faking emotions. He was wiping his eyes without tears. You are not seeing any attempt to fake anything here. And that's one thing that's really important to understand, is that just because somebody presents strangely, she doesn't seem to be trying to fake emotion. And that's a very essential part of understanding what you should pay attention to and what doesn't matter as much.
She wanted to walk the rest of the way. Sorry. That should be it. Sorry about that.
I know as parents, when you watch this, you go, how could she be amused in this kind of situation? And I just have to repeat, she may be a little bit odd. She may be a little bit strange, but that doesn't mean that she knew that Madeline was dead at this point. I really want to highlight that fact.
We dropped her off at school, close to school.
Okay, I will say this. He is being very sympathetic towards her. I believe he is being cautious. You can easily tear down Stefan. You can easily tear him down because, well, we know he is a suspect. He is the prime suspect. So he doesn't want to get sued by Jen Soto by saying, look, she lying out her ass.
She wanted to walk the rest of the way. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to share.
You share whatever you feel comfortable sharing. I know you had conversations with detectives. Not sure what that conversation is, but
So this is another thing that stands out, is wondering whether or not she's allowed to share different aspects of this case. And I think that that's actually a legitimate question for people who are not familiar with these types of situations or people who don't know. I don't necessarily see that as her deflecting or not wanting to respond. She may genuinely not know what she should and shouldn't share, what details she is allowed to or not allowed to share.
What I'm allowed to share.
you share whatever you feel comfortable sharing. I know you had conversations with detectives. Not sure what that conversation is, but whichever you feel comfortable sharing, that we'll put the awareness out there.
Yeah, she was spotted.
Okay, I'm going to help old Dr. G out real quick. This is what you call an oh shit moment. She sits up in her chair. We know you've talked to detectives. Somebody who's looking for their child is not intimidated by a detective. They want their help. If you have followed the case of Michael Vaughn, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. We have a whole playlist for Madeline, well, and many other cases. But something made her sit up straight in her chair when he said, we know you've talked to detectives. She did, and she lied to him. And that's proven. That's not my opinion. It's proven. She lied to him.
Walking by the church, by the middle school, on the cameras. They saw her hang out in the parking lot for a little bit and then get up and leave. They didn't see a vehicle or anything else. They just saw her walk away around 9 a.m. heading towards the school, but she never made it.
What has the school said?
So the way that she trailed off, said, yeah, at the end, that's essentially a way to put a period on what you're saying. It's just a way of saying, I don't know what else to say at this point. Now, I know people believe that she was involved in this or knew that Madeline was dead. I'm not convinced that that's true. I don't necessarily always come out with such strong opinions about this, but I do want to say she's not showing the types of deception that you would think, because oftentimes what you would expect is somebody faking certain types of emotions. We haven't seen her fake emotions yet. We've seen emotions that some people may deem inappropriate or odd, but we haven't seen her faking any emotion. And that, I think, is more telling. Let's take a quick look at Stefan Stevens, even though I did a full.
Okay, he did Stefan yesterday. We've already heard that. Evelyn Art, gorgeous picture, by the way. You need a good memory to be a good liar. And I will raise that ante and say, you don't need a memory at all to tell the truth. And that's what we are dealing with here. Something is not adding up. And I would hate to even think that Madeline's mother, Madeline's own mama, turned a blind eye to horrific abuse and didn't notice any sign of it for 2 years. Between her laundry, her room, her communication, her behavior, 2 years. I hate to think that in 2 years she didn't notice anything. And I hate to think that the day she went missing, and we know it's more than missing now, because they found her body. That she purposely threw the police off. purposely. She's in black shorts, white Crocs. She's found in jeans. She was found in jeans, but you said you saw her. I agree with Annie 100% that the laptop and the backpack were dumped. So it would appear that she took it with her, took them with her, the laptop and the backpack. The phone, I think, was kept in case somebody was calling for her. I wouldn't be surprised if any kids didn't message and say, hey, why aren't you at school? Hey, I can't find you. I don't have daughters. I have sons, but I know enough about my own anatomy to know about my own female anatomy that if something like that happens and it's caught on camera, it's caught on the phone, Madeline would have been in pain and probably needed to see a doctor. We spoke yesterday about the couple that doesn't live too far away from them. They're both in jail. Well, Argelio Pupo, Ard, his stepdaughter, the mother told her to go take a shower and then go to bed. Then the next day went to Target and bought a sewing kit to repair what had been done to her. That was on yesterday's show. Because there's a lot of similarities, a lot. And yes, I did invite Jen Soto to come on the show. She did see my message. She accepted my Facebook request, but now she's off of Facebook. I have a feeling with what's going on Court TV and other places around Al Gore's internet, I have a feeling by now she's talking to attorneys. I do have a feeling. Because it's not going to help her to continue to console Stefan. And where did all this get her? Now she has no child and no Disney bin Laden. It's just her and that annoying animal feeder. Bonafide, you're right. If you wash your child's laundry, I would think you would figure out something's not right. It's damn sickening. Well, I want to say thank you so much for all of you for being here. I know that this case has got everybody rattled. And we want answers. And they will come. They will. Right now, it seems the proof is in the pudding. So I want to say thank you very much to the best mod squad on YouTube, the best community and best chat, and woo, you all made me blush today. Thank you for all the super stickers and gifting the Crime Lines and Lies memberships. I'm actually thinking tomorrow we're going to take a day off and we're going to have a members live, kick back, do some trivia, and just have a fun show, talk about different headlines or whatever. Well, you guys tell me what you want to do. Because I've said it before, I'm the least important person on this show. It's all about you guys, and it's about, well, OJ and whatever cases we're talking about. Again, happy birthday to our wonderful friend, Connie, and many more. And if I don't see you around Discord, Facebook, or whatever, then I'll see you back here tomorrow. You guys are the best. Thank you for everything.